This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich,
And I'm Kelly Gilster of 618 Studios.
and we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here.
Hey, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Level Up Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Petrinovich, joined as always by my friend, Kelly Gilster.
Hi, guys. Hey, Taylor. How are you?
I'm great. I'm actually, you know what? I have like such muscle memory when it comes to this intro. I like picked it 2 years ago and I rarely deviate, but I actually think I might change it up starting
Okay.
next week. I want to say, and I'm joined as always by my, I feel like I want to say like the other half of Level Up. I want to say that.
You normally say co-host?
I think I normally say co-host, and then sometimes I'll say like something silly, like friend or like bestie or like something like that. But I think the other half, like coming from our conversation last week, that where if you listen to the end, we talked about how we're like total yin and yang. I
Yeah.
feel like we're just like one of those like friendship necklaces from like
Yeah.
elementary school. Like I'm this half of the heart, and you're this half.
I love it. If you're watching on YouTube, we were doing like the Taylor Swift heart hands.
Oh my gosh, that's like the best emoji. Cassie, can you throw some like emojis in the corner, the heart hands, all
Oh my
day?
gosh.
Um,
Um, wait, I already asked you. How are you? You said you're good.
okay,
You're
well, actually, I have more news than good. I'm actually really, really excited because you are actually launching something big today, and we should talk about it.
okay. Let's talk about it. It's been a long time coming because so I don't talk about this a lot. I'm sure maybe you guys know, some of you listening don't know, but 5 years ago, I created Illume LUTs, which are video presets for wedding filmmakers. I love the color grading process. It's one of my most favorite steps in the editing process. And it was something that we really studied, like really intensely. I feel like from like 2014 to 2017, like we were like wanting to figure out how to get our films to look like the beautiful colors and tones and galleries and the beautiful skin tones that photographers were achieving. It was like not making sense in my mind as to why, as filmmakers, we couldn't achieve the same look as well. And so in March of 2020, I launched Illume LUTs. It was my very first digital product that I ever created. I worked on it for about 6 months before launching it. We went through beta rounds. It was such a fun new process. And it's been a really cool thing to be able to give back to the filmmaking community. I think that it really helps bring consistency to filmmakers' work. I think that it helps really speed up the post-production process because you have these very simple kind of plug and play per se LUTs, video presets. And I've loved being a part of it, but I've kind of let it fall on the back burner because Level Up took a lot of my energy. I had 2 more children that I added into the mix. We have a corporate commercial brand that takes a lot of our time as well. But something changed in my own process of shooting weddings, and I created a black and white preset. Um, and it's interesting because I grew up in this industry in the limelight of perfection. I very much was a part of the Style Me Pretty perfect movement and all of those things. And so that was what the best of the best photographers were achieving and filmmakers were achieving. And so I wanted to align my brand in that same way because I knew that we could become a differentiator in that way. I knew that we could stand out in that way, and we did. And then I kind of found myself as the industry shifted and that whole perfect, pretty, just very, very posed and only the perfect lighting. Like you can't capture the portraits unless it's in the perfect lighting or the details are in the perfect lighting. That kind of started to fade a little bit. And I was really kind of happy to see it go, honestly. And I'll never forget I'm just like going on and on and on. Sorry, Taylor.
No, we love listening to you. Keep
Okay.
going.
I remember specifically shooting a wedding where there was a really beautiful moment happening of a mother of the groom like giving her son a hug. Like she just kind of like came in from nowhere and walked into the getting ready room and hugged him, and it was like in this like terrible like tungsten lighting like that was coming from the bathroom, but it was a really beautiful moment. Like it was like, and I turned my camera to like film it, and I filmed it, and I'm like, well, I'm never going to include this in the film because I'm never going to be able to like color grade this to where it's consistently going to look good and cohesive with the rest of the quality of work within the film. And as I was in the editing room and thinking about it, I'm like, I can't not use this. It's like such a great moment from the day. And like having two sons myself, I'm like, I would want this moment. Like, why am I holding on to this memory just because of like it not being the perfect lighting? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw it in black and white. And so I started creating like a black and white preset. And I'm like, I think that we can do this, you know, really intentionally. I don't love using black and white like for like vibe's sake or whatever it might be. I actually like really used to look down on filmmakers way back in the day when they used to throw things in black and white, or even like when photographers would throw things in black and white because the groom was getting ready like in a bathroom with no window light. And I'd be like, that's such a cheat. Like they're just cheating because they can just throw it in black and white. And then finally something just a light bulb moment of like, why can't I do that too? Like photographers do it. Like they're able to like mimic the quality in the moment of it and turn it into black and white because sometimes it's just necessary. Like in these live
Mhm.
events, like we're shooting these live events where we don't have control over every little piece of part of the day. And so Illume Noir was born, and I've sat on it for 2 years now, maybe 2.5 years, honestly. And I'm ready.
When you originally came on to Level Up, you had already created it, and I remember you sending it to me, and I used it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is great." So I've been using Illum Noir behind the scenes.
She is like my beta tester of 3 years on Illum Noir. Um, and it was really just born from a place of wanting to bring more authenticity back to my films, just like I saw the industry kind of demanding some more authenticity in that. And so instead of, you know, restricting myself to only capturing the beautiful, the pretty, all the beautiful light, it allowed me to capture all of the moments without looking at them through the lens of, is the light good or not? You know, I'm just
Mhm.
going to capture it and have it be a part of the whole story of the day. And that I felt like that was really missing from my work. And maybe some people listening on this now kind of feel like the same. Like you want to bring some more authenticity back in your films and you want to incorporate some black and white in there. Um and I've honestly really loved it. And our clients have loved it too. I was so fearful that like putting some clips in black and white because we've never done it before. I felt like I would, you know, get pushback from clients or something, or like, what is this? But like, no, no one has ever mentioned it. And I'm sure that they appreciate the raw, real, candid moments that may have otherwise been left out because it maybe wasn't going to align with the whole cohesive color story of it, whatever it is. But um, Taylor and I had a chance to go to Kinetic, and we heard from John Dolan, who is just an iconic filmmaker based in upstate New York. And he captured Naomi Biden's wedding at the White House. And he just has a long, long list of incredible events that he's captured. And now I have his book that sits on my coffee table. And it's cool to see um, all of the raw, real moments that he incorporates. And it was so sad because I think for so many years, I would kind of notice that a beautiful moment was happening, but it wasn't in the correct lighting or in the corner of a room that was dark. And I just wouldn't capture it because I'm like, well, I'm never going to use it, you know, or like, oh, this client isn't getting raw footage with this collection, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, that's so sad. Like that is such a disservice, I think, to the client. And I'm always wanting to try to like refine my systems and processes and put myself in the shoes of my client. And I would want them to. And I wouldn't matter that it was in black and white. If I could have whatever it may be, me hugging my niece as a flower girl on the wedding day or whatever it is. So I'm so excited to be launching Illume Noir to all of you guys, not just Taylor. Um, and I think it's going to be really cool. And it's so easy to use. It includes um, 3 presets basically. So there's Illume, it's like black and white standard, black and white soften, black and white boost. So if you are familiar with like our primary Illume Let's pack, that's similar to how they're named and labeled too. So it's a very easy process of being able to implement and like literally a one-click edit based on what you need.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. I think that it's like perfect timing with the way the industry is shifting and kind of like going back to the John Dolan. So the name of his book is The Imperfect,
Hmm.
the wedding photographs of John Dolan. But I love that like perfectly imperfect because I think that every single moment worth capturing on a wedding day can fall into like 2 categories of perfection. It's like perfection from a visual standpoint as an artist and somebody who wants to like really shine a light on all of the visual beauty of the day. But then there's like the perfect moments for like that client's life. Like those are the moments they're going to look back on and like smile to themselves because they're like remembering back. But unfortunately, we do not have excellent memories as humans. I wish we had better memories, but luckily we've created these amazing things called cameras so we can more easily remember things. And I don't know about you, but like some of my memories from childhood, I'm not sure if I can actually authentically remember the moment or if I just like looked at the photo so many times that I've like built a memory around the photo. And I think the same
Mm,
can be said for our clients. So like maybe in 30 years they're not going to actually remember that moment, but they'll have looked at it through photo or through video so many times that it's ingrained in their memory that way. And I think that's something that's like so beautiful about our craft is like we're dictating what they remember about their wedding
yeah.
day. Like we are in charge of that.
Yeah.
Um
That's a
and
huge responsibility if you think of it,
it
think about
really
it. Like
is.
it really is.
And it would be so sad if just because of that tungsten lighting, like that person didn't get to remember that really, really precious moment where their dad is crying, like the first time he saw his daughter in her wedding dress or whatever it may be. One other thing I love about black and white, it goes for photo and video, is not only does it cover up, you know, not great color or when maybe you couldn't color correct to be how you want it to be, but I actually think that it hides things and it like shines a light on the subject. So
Yeah,
maybe if there's like clutter in the background or there's like an exit sign or like whatever, like honestly, sometimes making it in black and white makes those things less obvious to the eye. It kind of
I
hides
agree.
them. I mean they're still there. They're still visible, but I feel like because of all the not all the colors happening, it makes them less obvious. I've seen on TikTok, we've been talking about TikTok a lot the last couple of weeks, but I saw on TikTok a hack. I want to say it was from the Let Them girl. What's her name?
Oh, Mel Robbins, because
Mel
she's like
Robbins.
she launched a new book like a while
Ooh,
back.
I want to check it out. I haven't read Let Them yet, but I do like her on TikTok a lot. But anyway, she said, like, I challenge you to set your phone to black and white so that all of your apps, all your texts, everything's in black and white and
Oh,
watch your attention span or like actually, she said your addiction, the addiction to your phone go down because like you're being less stimulated. And I think that's what happens when we turn things into black and white. Like we're less stimulated by all the little things in the frame and we're focusing on like the one thing, like the subject, and like everything else fades to the background, which I think is cool about black and white. Like, I don't know, it just like it highlights things like in a
yeah.
different way, not just like it's not just like an artsy fartsy thing. I think it like actually does something.
Hey, Level Up listeners, if you want to start booking 5-figure weddings, then it's time to start curating a 5-figure experience. Get started today with our Client Experience Bundle. Charging higher rates and booking higher quality weddings both require elevating your client experience, and our bundle is going to help you do just that. We are here to equip you with everything you need to impress your high wealth clients and full service wedding planners. With this guide, you are going to save yourself hours of troubleshooting and years of potential setback. Now, with this client experience bundle that we've put together for you, you're going to have everything at your fingertips to elevate your communication and your processes both pre-wedding day and post-wedding day. This bundle not only includes email templates, but it also includes a customizable proposal template and professional guides. If you're looking to upsell your clients to serve them really well without feeling salesy, we also include polished and professional templates that provide your client with a feeling that you have their best interest at heart while helping you increase your profits. One of my favorite things about this bundle is that it includes our style guide. Dressing for the occasion demonstrates to your client and the creative team that you respect their event and also showcases a team player mindset. It's truly an incredible resource. Head over to thelevelupco.com/shop and position yourself at the top of the market and grab our client experience bundle today.
Okay, I want to know a few things. I have a few questions about Illume Noir that I think that people listening to this would also want to know.
Cool.
What's the difference between using a black and white LUT and just dragging the saturation down to 0?
That is such a good question. Um, I don't think that the colors maintain like the same integrity, like the contrasts, and like we've really gone in and like made changes to how the highlights respond to it, how the shadows respond to it, the level of contrast that it incorporates. And so it maintains like I think sometimes when you just lower down that saturation level, you can like get more of like a blue tone black and white rather than like
Yeah.
a really yeah.
Yeah, I know
Rather
exactly what
than
you're
like a
saying.
very, true black and white that looks good.
So that's all in the LUT. It makes it like a more neutral black and white.
Yes, yeah. Something that like you don't have any like weird undertones in the black and white. There's nothing that drives me more nuts than like seeing a strange undertone in a black and white. And I'm like, there's something off there. Like sometimes you can even get like a bit of a magenta in a black and white.
I've seen
Or that
like a green cast in the
a
black
green
and white.
cast, a black, like, yeah. So you really want to
Mm.
be able to have something that's really going to give you that very true black and white. That's very consistent because we want to bring consistency to the colors within our films from start to finish. But I think incorporating a black and white that mirrors the overall feel of all of the other elements, like I said, the highlights, the shadows, the contrast, and things like that is really helpful. The other thing that I really actually love too about the putting things in black and white is that we're not always put in like the best lighting scenarios at night. A lot of times we're going to like after parties. Like we've been having a lot of our clients extend coverage for us to come to the after parties, and people have had many drinks at that point, and the mood lighting is very dim, and it doesn't really make sense to bring in like a full lighting production like they had at the reception at dinner. And so we are kind of like somewhat left to just shooting very ambient, and sometimes we are like cranking that ISO up and it's not always super pretty. So incorporating black and white for segments of the day like that yield really nicely, because if there's a little bit too much grain that's not looking great in color, you just switch over to black and white, and I think that that grain makes a little bit more sense to the eye.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a black and white film stock when you switch it to black and white, and it's a little grainy from that ISO. I don't know if this is a hot take or if other people will agree with it or what. But I feel like it really makes sense for a nighttime scenario because it leans into like a more editorial feel. To
Yeah.
me, like that, like high fashion New York runway, like big bold letters, like crazy fun fashion, like black and white feels like it makes sense in
Yeah.
that time. Um, there are many times where I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 clips in a row from like the dancing section of the day with like the band. Like I don't have to. The lighting was great and like
Yeah.
everything was perfect and looked great in color, but like I'm just drawn to the black and white for those moments. I think it's so great. And also I've done it a few times too where um if the walls of a hotel room have like or like the carpet has like a strange like
Yeah.
why does it look like that? I don't know. Like hotels like choose more neutral carpet. I don't know. But like I feel like flipping it into black and white, like those like burnt orange colors are not going to come through or like whatever it is. Like you can kind of hide the not the not pretty things, but while still utilizing the moment.
Yeah.
Um, I just feel like the theme of this year, at least like in the wedding industry, and I think honestly, like across social media, like in TikTok and blah blah blah, is it really is taking a step back from the perfection and like leading with authenticity and like embracing what is. And as much as we love the most beautifully curated vignettes of a wedding day, like we really truly do love those things. Clients are really wanting to see like what matters the most. And if your client is a more in tune with their emotions and their feelings and maybe more sentimental and those things, then they want to see those moments, whether you're a photographer or a filmmaker. Like that's what they're there for. And I mean, of course, the gorgeous floral installations are icing on the cake, but I don't think that's like the bread and butter of what they're hoping to receive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's so interesting when you take, I remember specifically a wedding that I had last year, and the lighting was actually so, we had to bring in some of our own like video lights to kind of fill in because they didn't have quite enough. But still, the tone of the room with some uplighting was strange. Like they had some like blue uplighting, and then our video lights could only do so much. And so editing their first dance, as I'm pulling clips out of it, I changed it into black and white, and I was like, oh my gosh, this just like leveled up this whole scene like times 100. Like I love this shot like exponentially more because of this. I also really love it in like maybe more harsh lighting conditions. Like let's say if we had to capture some bride and groom portraits when it's not the most ideal time in the day, black and white can really save you in that aspect of like just softening things up a little bit on the skin tones when it's not the perfect lighting scenario. So it
Mhm.
really is being able to bring some more perfection to the imperfection and authenticity back to our films. And I think that us evolving as artists is something that is necessary. It's inevitable and it's necessary. So just as I kind of made that judgment call and I had that light bulb moment in 2021 and created Illume Lutz, it was really stemmed from wanting to give a better product to our clients and provide them with more memories that really do belong in their films. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited to bring it to the filmmaker community as an amazing resource for you guys.
I think that everyone needs these LUTs. I mean, I may be biased, but I've been loving to use them, and I know so many people will. Where can they grab them? And then I think we might have a special little code for them.
Yeah, so you can head over to illumelutz.com, and that's where we have all of our collection of LUTs. So if you aren't an Illume Lutz user of our, primary LUT pack, we have that one as well. We have a mobile LUT pack as well. If you want to, upgrade your BTS footage and reels and things like that, incorporating that iPhone footage. And then now our brand new collection of Illume Noir, which is our black and white presets. And you can use code Level Up 20 for 20% off of Illume Noir today.
I love that. Quickly, just to give people a little bit of tangible value as they're embarking on their embracing the black and white LUT journey, which welcome to the dark side, guys. Let's say, what are your like top three instances throughout a wedding where that would probably call for a black and white LUT? I would love to just like list them all so that they can just like take mental note.
Um, Yeah, that's a great question. Ways that I have been really incorporating it is in maybe some getting ready areas, like kind of I mentioned before. The getting ready rooms are so tricky because you're walking into an environment that you don't really know if it's going to be good or not. Is there going to be enough, lighting? You're just kind of like left to your own devices and trying to make this work. And so I really do think it's an area of the day that we can have some level of influence on how it turns out, but we can't change everything about it. Or maybe the hotel has like really strange colored curtains that like was not really a part of the color story, or weird yellow paint all over the walls. Also, I've been including some more if it's like a church ceremony, like a Catholic church that's really dark. And sometimes, we can mimic it, but only maybe so much. And so I've been incorporating black and white into that as well. And then also, like, say the couple is exiting the church and there's like different color temperatures happening at different points in the aisle, like black and white just cleans that up really nicely. And then, of course, different areas of the reception. So I think it really does bring a very classic party tone to it. So any point where maybe the cake cutting, we tried to light it, but maybe it wasn't enough, or there was just a lot of mixed lighting with some uplighting again. The mixed lighting conditions is like really where I feel like this preset saves people without having to spend so much time, maybe using like an HSL secondary step in your process to like decide, okay, I need to make just their skin tones a little bit more magenta or whatever it is, because there's green cast on it or whatever. So yeah, really those mixed color things is really crucial in incorporating that black and white while making it still feel really elevated. So yeah, things like the cake cutting or like a grand exit. Like a lot of times those grand exits are like not lit in any way whatsoever unless it's
Just
sparklers.
sparklers on the face.
Yeah, or even sparklers like kind of cast off sometimes a weird color tone onto skin. So I've loved using it. I don't want to lean into it too heavily because I don't think that it's like our brand is still so like true to color-esque, and I still really think that 80% of my film should really be, color, but bringing in that 20% of black and white has been really, really fun, and I think that clients are enjoying it as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little accent. I think it's just something that can be so easily implemented in your workflow. Even if like you're in a rut, you're like, I'm just
Yeah.
feeling a little stale. That's like a great way to like just like breathe a little bit of new life into like your workflow.
Yeah.
Or you're like me and maybe editing isn't your most favorite activity,
Yeah.
but that feeling can be traced back to some frustration. Like you're like, I can spend 3 hours just trying to like get this like this handful of clips to like look nice, and like it just makes me not want to do it. It makes me want to throw my laptop against the wall. um and if you're like that, then like honestly these just might be something that like saves the day for you and makes you feel happy and content and not insane with frustration, as I am prone to when I just can't figure out why it's not working. So I don't know, I just feel like it's such a great resource, it's such a great thing. And can we all just like gang up on Kelly for like a hot second and like encourage her to maybe like come out with some photo presets?
Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many DMs I've gotten of like, I love the look of this for video, but I'd love to, you do offer it for photo. And I'm like, I don't, but maybe I will eventually. I don't know.
I
It's
think
been
you
fun
should.
to like come out with black and white or Illume Noir for Illume and give it a little bit more attention this year. So I hope everyone loves it. Again, as my dog is walking out, you might hear his little paws clicking away. So again, head over to the illumelets.com and you can use code levelup20 for 20% off of Illume Noir.
Highly encourage you to grab them, guys. This is the time. We're in wedding season. We're all busy editing. Just grab it, give it a try. You guys, it's not super expensive. It probably should cost more if we're being totally honest.
It really should.
But we're excited to hear it. If you grab them, start like a group chat between Illume and Level Up and let us know what you thought on
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's hear about it. I want to see, and like tag Illume every time
Yeah.
you post a reel utilizing Illume, whether it's like the classic LUTs. I'm actually a huge fan of combining Illume like normal with Illume warm. Like I love that look. Or the Illume Noir. Make sure you're tagging her so she can like reshare your beautiful work. People can become inspired by what you're creating and spread the word. So, Kelly, anything last to add before we sign
No.
off?
No, thanks for giving, some time and attention to this new product that I'm excited to be launching. And yeah, I'm excited to see all of your guys' beautiful work with Illume Noir.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.